Buenos dias, familia. Hello, welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Insta because I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to all these goodies, familia. So, you guys, Lancôme has a new concealer. Concealers are coming out like crazy. I'm legit losing track because I don't even know how many have released. We have a new one. And Lancôme, I feel like always does makeup well. They're such a trusted brand. So Teen Idol Ultra Wear Care and Glow Serum Concealer. It's weird. It's available at Ulta, but not on Sephora until the 15th, which is on Friday, this coming Friday. So I was able to snatch it up really quick. Ooh, it looks like this. It looks like the foundation. It looks like this foundation. Okay, we see. So I have this shade 240W. I only got one shade because I wasn't sure what shade was gonna match. Oh, look at the doe foot. Okay. I like it when it has a nice angle to it because it just fits here nicely. It has a scent, but I don't know what it is. Here, let's watch it. Okay, this shade's good too. Good thing I guess, because I wasn't sure. So I'm gonna be able to only do 1 day review and wear test. The next 2 or 3 days, I won't be able to film. Just gonna do like a 12-hour wear test today. Oh my God, I have an itch. Hold on. Okay, so I already added my foundation. I always skip the under eye area because you guys know the less product in the eye area, the better. I added my 2 eye creams maybe about 20 minutes ago, so I'm nice and moisturized and hydrated in the eye area, especially because my under eyes tend to be a little bit dry. Serum concealers typically are a lot more hydrating and they're not as pigmented as like a traditional and or full coverage concealer. I could kind of tell here, you see it's a little on the sheer side. It does oxidize too. So you see how there's that hydration going on. So not bad. Going to add here. The inner corners where I'm like the darkest. I like to do a little lift action here around my nose, around my mouth that tends to be a little discolored. Use my oh so favorite 71 brush from Sephora collection. Look at this angle. It feels a little wet. So let me start from the bottom. I always like to let the concealer dry down a little bit. This allows it to get a little thicker and sometimes it will provide more coverage. Okay, it's blending out nicely. It's not pulling anything up. Sometimes it'll pull up the foundation you have underneath. I'd say coverage is light to medium. It is pigmented though, now that I'm like blending it. Coverage is nice. It provides good coverage. It's very hydrating. It is creasing. I would say it's a little bit on the light side. I want to build it up. What I want to do too, kind of like out of that, let it dry down. Maybe give it like 30 seconds. Okay, now let's blend. I like that it's hydrating, but I don't know, I feel like I need more coverage. You know, it's very sheer. It's also very serum-like concealer, you know? The before and after, you can see a difference. You see, we see some coverage here. It is hydrating, so I like that. You guys, something about this is not sitting well in my under eye area. See how it's like breaking apart here? The under eye doesn't look that bad. I wonder if it's not meshing in with my eye cream, but that like never happens. Never ever. What to do? I don't know. Let's leave this here for now. Start this eye and then as I apply it, I'm gonna give you all the info about the product. The new Lancôme Care and Glow Hydrating Serum Concealer. This is a multi-use up to 24-hour hydrating serum concealer with medium to buildable coverage and a natural soft glow finish. With 81% serum-based skin-loving formula, Lancôme multi-use concealer is best for brightening, blurring under eye dark circles, and enhancing features for an everyday natural look. It's crease resistant for up to 12 hours. The ingredients is hyaluronic acid for hydration, ceramide, and peptides to protect and strengthen the skin barrier. I purchased mine at Ulta. Will be available at Sephora on the 15th. Okay, for some reason I'm liking the sponge a little better. Let's add more. Let's see how much we could build. Okay, let's blend. This hydration is very, very nice. Very nice. I feel like it's working better with the sponge because of that thin formula. Look, it looks good. You see the hydration? Under eyes. Yeah, I think it's the sponge that just looks better. The brush, you see, I don't know if you can see right here, it pulled some product off. That's not the brush's fault. A lot of times when a concealer or any cream liquid product is thin, brushes just don't work because the product is too thin for a brush. Sometimes it just goes better with a sponge. It really depends. You'll know this through experience and trying like different types of makeup, because right now I'm like, wait, you could easily say, hey, it's not working, but it's the tool for me that is not working because this side is working fine. It's very natural coverage. I want to show you the swatch. Look, it is still very hydrated. Hydrating? Yeah. It makes sense why it's applying the way it is. So let's set. Remember I told you guys I got a new Maybelline powder, brand spanking new. Today's the first time I'm using it. Ah, I'm so excited. Okay, this is my favorite powder to set. It's very finely milled. It's affordable. They come in a bunch of shades and I just love it. Honestly, I just love it. Okay, I'm gonna use my Amazon powder puff. I don't want to use too much powder because as we can see, this is very natural type of concealer. I want to build up a little bit, especially this eye. Both eyes. And letting it sit, I don't think makes much of a difference because it's just such a hydrating formula. Brush. You want to even out the powder. I'm gonna look up and hurry up and set. Then look straight ahead as I'm setting. You want to set your under eyes because as you guys can see, this product really moves, and most concealers, even if they're like a full coverage, they will crease only because your eyes constantly blink, they constantly move. So I love to set my under eyes. I think it makes such a difference. Okay, looks good. I think I need to add a little more like right here. And I'm just gonna press it in. I'm not gonna bake. Looks good. Very natural. Okay. It sets okay. It's not the best, but it's also a very wet formula. I mean, not wet, but hydrating. Kind of wet, it could make the powders just stick unevenly, and I feel like I see it right here. I don't know if you can see it because it's right close to my lashes, but you know, it's an anecdote, you know. I think it's okay. Like, I'm not really like thrilled, you know. So it's currently 6:51. What am I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna finish up the face and then come back and let's see, maybe with a little bit of warmth it'll work out. It'll look a little better because yeah, the hand is still very hydrating. Kind of gets thicker though, so we'll see. Hey familia. Hey, this hair, girl, about to, let's clip it. Concealer. Okay, it looks good here, right? We have pretty good coverage. It's not like the best, but it's also a serum concealer. If we get closer, look at my lids. It's separating already, and my under eyes just look rough. There's like a big patch under here. I had to reset my under eyes because all of this became super creasy. I don't think it takes too well to powder, a lot of powder in general. So the way I set, which is my, you know, preference, just doesn't work with this concealer. It makes sense because it's a very lightweight hydrating concealer. So a little bit of setting powder. I need a little more setting powder because that helps my creases out where my under eyes won't crease too much. So it really is preference. I think it looks decent, but if you get really close, it's where it doesn't look nice. It looks super rough. It doesn't look smooth. It's super creasy. And this is one of those things that I think works the best if you don't set your concealer and if you spot conceal, and if you don't have too much discoloration, you can kind of just add it and kind of do that whole motion. But if you're trying to cover something, we need a little more pigment because this has pigment, but not enough for it to stay put and not move as much. This one is very lightweight, and it's tricky when it comes to formulas because typically a serum concealer is what this is. Like, it's a lightweight, very hydrating concealer. It doesn't have a lot of pigment. If it had a little more, it would be better. Kind of like the foundation. The foundation has good amount of pigment. So yeah, I'm not really excited, and I love Lancôme. Like, you know, this would be perfect if you mix it with a full coverage, but if you're gonna spend $29 and then use it with another concealer. That's just like having to use two concealers. But you know, I also love to mix. I'm a mixer. So anyway, this is just my first thoughts. You guys know, let's wear it. Let's see how it wears. Maybe with skin warm, it will look better. I'm just kind of like about it. Nothing too fantastic, you know? But let me share my lip. I kind of like this lip. NYX, what is this called? After Hours. I overlined my lips, but now my lips look a little funky. And then this Rare Beauty lipstick in Creative. Wanted to get back to the nude because I've been doing a little bit of color, you know? Okay, familia. Hey. So this is the brush side. You see that texture? And then this is the sponge side. It's a little smoother. Let me look up. I don't know if you can see, it's like that patchiness happened with the brush side versus the sponge side looks a little bit better. Ultimately, I think the sponge is a better type of applicator for this type of concealer, or your hands, like your fingers, you can just tap it on because of that texture. I think it looks better in daylight than in studio lighting. I feel like the powder is doing a lot of the work too because it is a good powder. It's quite pigmented too, where it can really smooth out and brighten this area out. Also, I think the concealer alone just doesn't really stand well. So we'll see. Let's see how it wears. Hey fam, I'm back. So it's been about 11 and a half hours, close to 12. This is how the under eyes look. They look very bright. So I've been noticing how bright they look, and it's because of the formula. Remember how I told you guys it was wet? It's a very wet formula, so it takes on the powder well, or a lot. However, you know. So let's look and see. I mean, it kind of just looks the same. I have a little bit of creasing, but I do have good enough coverage here. I think it wore very, very well, nicely, a lot better than I anticipated. I like this concealer. I think it's your perfect serum hydrating concealer. However, I personally need something with a little more pigment that covers my darkness and isn't as wet and hydrating as this one. Like, I love hydrating concealers because my under eyes are really dry, but this one I feel like it's hydrating wet. I'm not wowed. You know, I probably won't buy this again. I'll definitely use it. I think it would mix very well with their full coverage concealer. I really love that concealer. I think it's amazing. If you want something more full coverage, use the original Taint Idol concealer because that is bomb, but it does dry down a little bit matte, so beware. I will link it down below if you're interested in buying it. I mean, I think we definitely don't look gastada. Everything is looking very well put together. But if you want something that has a little more oomph, a little more pigment, I would recommend the Tower 28 concealer. It is so amazing, so hydrating, so pigmented, long wearing. They come in beautiful shades. It works well with powder. This one, it's a little bit cheaper also. Oh, by the way, this one reminds me of the Valentino. I think they are very, very similar in coverage, in textures too. So if you like this one, you'll definitely like this one. I know a lot of people like this one. This one wasn't my favorite, so just like a FYI. But this is it, fam. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Please let me know your thoughts, and I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button there or there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.